Thank you for joining the Edulastic community. Today we're going to dive into learning how to create a dot plot question type. This will really be helpful for you when testing your students' understanding of sample data and plotting. From your dashboard, start by clicking the big E on the top left-hand corner to expand your sidebar. You can then move down to Library, selecting Item Bank. From here, you want to move to the top right-hand corner, clicking on New Item, and you can select Charts from the list of categories on the side. You can then select dot plot. Our free account holders will notice a couple of features along the side, and these directly align with the sections of the question type you'll have to fill out. Our premium account holders may also notice Enable Power User. When you click on this, it will bring you right to your profile, and you will see Power User listed along the bottom. You can go ahead and toggle this on, and it will give you access to a couple of additional features within the question type itself. Going back to dot plot, you will now see them listed along the left-hand side. I want to start by entering the question for my students. I want them to plot the amount of ice creams eaten by some kids at a party, and I also have an image to assist them. Once it's uploaded, you'll see it pop up right underneath the instructions, and I want to make it just a little bit bigger so my students can see it easily. Then it's time to build out the chart. For my x-axis, my minimum is going to be set to 2, with the maximum set to 4. I'll keep the tick distance in minor ticks at 1, and you can have an option to show or hide the ticks, the maximum, and the minimum. Then it's time to set the correct answers as well as the correct amount of points for this question. Once that's all set, you'll be able to select the proper amount of dots for each of these questions, and you'll see them pop up in black on your graph. Moving down, you can also update the evaluation settings. These are simply in place to ensure your test runs as smoothly as possible for your students. You can also add any annotations to this graph, and these will remain available and there for your students to see while they are taking this test. Once it's set, you can move it to wherever you'd like on the graph itself. You'll then be able to add any background shapes that you'd like. If there's additional data that you'd like your students to see and then plot using other data, you can have them set as background shapes. When you click, you'll see them pop up as light gray on the graph itself, and your students will still have to plot the black points of the correct answers and data for these questions. You'll also notice that there are some graph controls. When you select them, they will show up in gray, and you'll see them appear at the top right of your graph. Now, these are simply here as tools for your students when they're graphing to make it as easy as possible. You'll then be able to move down to scoring. If you have an existing rubric, you can opt to use it here, or you can create a new rubric. You can also enable auto scoring. Then it's time to make sure the display is to your liking, and you can adjust the box size or the margin size, as well as the font. You'll see that reflected in preview mode. Lastly, you can go down and set the solution. You can enter reasoning for why your student may have gotten the incorrect answer, an explanation of the correct solution, and even hints. Then it's time to pop on into preview mode, and you can check to make sure your answers are correct. You can either check it here, or you can show the answer and you will see it pop up directly underneath the graph. You'll then be able to attach any proper standards by going into Metadata. To do so, click on this drop-down and enter your subject, standard set, and grade level. You can then click Browse on the right-hand side, and this will pop up filled with all different standards that you can select. Once you've clicked all that apply, you can go ahead and click Apply. You'll see it populate in this box here, and then you are ready to publish your question.